journey on the circuit. He's in the same equipment as Michael Annett. Michael is just this season proving himself as a possible championship contender. Justin's been there, and he's got the maturity. He knows when to push the buttons, and he knows when not to push them.
Yep. So then I go to a guy like Austin Cindric, right? A guy that he's learning the ropes. He drives for Penske. Penske's on a little bit of a drought in the Xfinity Series. Matter of fact, they've won at least 2 races in the last 9 years or something like that. And a guy like that could get hot at the right time as well.
Taking a look at Ryan Sieg now. The 39 car, small team. And Isaac mentions him because they're a small team with a big sponsorship announced last week, Jeff. That's full year for 2020.
That's awesome. That's great news for this team and great news for the sport, right? I mean, not just this team, but it's great news to provide some security to this team. This team does not have the funding of a Gibbs or a Penske or a Junior Motorsports team, but they're clawing and scratching and fighting, and they have a lot of really good people over there. Essentially, Shane Wilson and several of the guys from Childress are over there running this program now, so they have really good people. More money will only help them. It will only make them better. Giving them an opportunity to develop cars, spend some time in the wind tunnel, just all of those things, they add up. And closing that gap to a Gibbs or a Penske, that's what it's going to take.
It is one of the first things you do, Jeff. You look at this car. It is probably not as updated and new as, say, a Joe Gibbs car or a car like Cole Custer is driving. So you go through your inventory, right? And you look and say, okay, what can we get rid of? And what's out there on the market for us to purchase a used car from another organization that can just up our program because it leapfrogs what we already had.
That's right. And this is good equipment. This is Childress equipment, but it's not the latest, greatest Childress equipment.
With all the latest, greatest parts and pieces.
Correct.
You can spend money till you're blue in the face, right? And look for speed, and you'll find some. You'll also find reliability. You know, because in some cases there are parts that fail because they aren't as new as others.
Yep.
They're doing a good job, as you mentioned, with that. There's Michael Annett, the Daytona winner from February. Didn't have quite the same luck last weekend. Seems like just yesterday. Oh, wait, it almost was. Got caught up in a big wreck.
Oh, how time flies.
It does.
But, hey, sent somebody up there, and they just looked ahead of you, right? And they just looked ahead, and they told you. But they didn't help you with much of anything else. And now it's evolved to where they're constantly communicating with the crew chief, telling the crew chief what they're seeing. The crew chief's giving them information, a lot of back and forth. The spotter up there today, it's a completely different job. He is helping the team manage the race. He's giving them information about who's pit. I mean, they have their hands full. There's no way I would want to be a spotter today with all the responsibilities that they have.
There's Sieg continuing on. 3 cars from their camp in the field today. Josh Bilicki is in the 38, and Jeff Green, former champion, in the 93.
A little free on entry. I'm a little, they all say really close to the same things, but some do it faster than others. So it isn't necessarily the balance of the car, it's the overall grip of the car. Is this car planted in the racetrack? Can I trust that I'm going to stab that throttle and it's going to stick? And that is what makes speed. Overall grip is what wins races. Balance, right? Balance is the fine-tuning stuff. But overall grip, if you don't have that first, you cannot make the car balance. Because right now, what are you going to do? If you're the crew chief and he said, hey, I'm good on entry, I'm a little tight here, I'm really good. Like, what do you do to make it go fast? You're not working on balance. You need to find grip.
Good look here at Ryan Sieg in the black 39. Allgaier in the 7, and his teammate Michael Annett in the 1 car.
Let's watch what happens when we go down in turn 3. So this is the one thing about a multiple groove racetrack is that the bottom needs to be good too, right? So right now you saw Allgaier, they both ran the middle. He was able to leave the corner better than Sieg. Biggest surprise in Xfinity season is a question from Patrick. I'm going to stick with Allgaier. I think the fact that Allgaier and his team haven't run bad, they just haven't run as well as I thought they would run. That to me is the biggest surprise.
I'm going to say the other car in the picture on the other side, Michael Annett, even though his win was a restrictor plate, it was a super speedway win. Everything else about his
this weekend, so hopefully we can start up in the top 5. This has been a really good weekend so far for us and our team on this number 9 junior motorsports team. So overall, just really thankful to be here. We have 2 patient champions coming out, Austin and Brooklyn, so really excited for that, and we're just going to go have some fun tonight.
Yeah, and I'll echo what Noah said. The JRM car's looking pretty good here, Dave.
Look good, feel good. Hey, he should talk to Ross Chastain. He's got a line of items online.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, and those cars do look good. They're Carolina blue. Yeah, that's really nice.
As you would notice. Ryan Sieg with a 12th place qualifying lap there. Not quite what they were expecting, I don't believe. Ryan will be in the show tonight.
Cars not be able to go through there. I'm surprised 3 can make it.
Ryan Sieg was out of the dark asphalt up there and almost into the wall in that 39.
Thinking, I hope it was going to be close.
Here comes Ryan Sieg in the 39, looking to the inside of Nemechek.
How about Ryan Sieg in this team? You know, this Ryan Sieg. These are Childress cars, but it's a later version of Childress cars. It's a line of guys that left Childress and went to work on this family-owned team, and here they are battling in the top 10. Great job.
Only 7 full-time employees for Ryan Sieg.
They commute. Some of them commute from the Charlotte area and go work there a couple days a week.
4 guys will do that commute.
He is happy with his race car. As for Ryan Sieg right now, the end of his run, the car is tightening up just a little bit too much for his liking. Hard to steer that car right now, Marty.
Dave, the Cup winner, Justin Haley from Daytona last week, is sitting back there in the 12th